Hello everybody, it's Wonderful Wind Mage, your true ship servant, Chartreuse Proxy, ever and always at your service. Hello everybody! It's odd to see me streaming on Mondays this week, because I usually have night plans with friends, but I got things off because, well, schedule things came up. So instead, I am getting to play Rabbit and Steel for the first time in forever, it feels like. I haven't played it within like a good month, at least on stream. That's because I've been hard at work at doing something else. So I did a lot of like both no commentary and commentary runs. That is because I was one, either grinding lunar difficulty, which I am definitely not going to do because I'm super rusty, or also two, because I've been doing something else. If I go to my favorite character, the dancer. Wah! The CRUZIE and Steel is real! I have painstakingly taken the past month or so in getting my old Galmon art tablet out from, let's say it's still plugged in, let me disconnect that real quick, from the bottom of like my old desk drawer and everything like that or so, and you know, I finally got it out after using a drawer just in like year 2 of VTubing, sorry, 2022 for me and all, to not using it at all for 2 years, to finally bring it out again so I could make a mod of myself. Because I was so inspired after seeing so much fan art from my timeline, from other people or so, that I had to mod myself into the game. Now, honestly, I should have modded myself onto the first Dancer Rabbit, considering how she has more of a yellow sprite frame. But I've been playing Red Dancer so much that I just kind of, you know, I just overlaid onto that, and well, that's how it goes. But hi, Crimson, hi, Calvin. Hope y'all are doing well. But yeah, it's fully me. All custom-made sprites and everything like that I made myself. And, oh, it's here! I'm so happy! Okay, for those of you that don't know what Rabbit and Steel is, or if you have, or if you've seen a little bit, but don't exactly know the premise, it's basically a roguelike raiding simulator, kind of like MMO raiding or so. It's made to be played by up to 1 to 4 people, and if I also go back to the title screen, for instance, give me 1 second here. I go back to the title screen. It supports online play and everything like that to be able to play with people or so, or you can even join the Discord. And well, yeah, it's a roguelike raiding simulator basically or so. So anybody that's played any MMO, anything like that or so, you would be very fine-tuned with the mechanics. But I'm playing it solo, as I've played like 99% of this game. So, it'll be a lot more just bullet hell akin. But we'll just get into it or so. I'm just gonna do some casual runs since I am super rusty on it. But in essence, you are playing as a rabbit of one of multiple different classes or so. There are 10 classes in the game at the moment. But my favorite is the dancer. So, that's who I modded myself over. You go through 3 out of 5 different areas in the game, making your way to the Pale Keep, to where you basically try to fight the Rabbit of the Moon. There's a whole plot to it and all, but for essence, you're just beating up enemies as a rabbit. Yeah, the big thing about it is that you have a kit of 4 abilities. Like any good MMO, it's all about figuring out your rotation of abilities and everything like that or so. And you're trying to to DPS the bosses and kill them, since, you know, what other things are you gonna do in a video game besides fight enemies, right? Key things to note is that I should be going over my kit first and foremost as I go on. I have a primary, secondary, special, and evasive, basically, as denoted over here, or defensive rather, it's how it's coded. My primary is a twirl that strikes twice horizontally, wherever I am laid, and I spin as a dancer should. My secondary, it is a homing attack that does damage twice, and like I said, it homes it on where the enemy is. It does less damage than my primary, though, so I want to emphasize using my primary as much, as it's 60 times 2 versus 50 times 2. So 120 versus 100, it still is, you know, going to be something important to take note of. My special is a big burst attack that you can see goes about 2/3 of the screen. It does 350 damage in a large radius, but the thing about it is that it has a cooldown as opposed to my other two abilities, which have no cooldown, just the global cast time. However, as you saw right there, anytime I use any ability, any primary secondary, there's a 30% chance of resetting. So, I want to always be using my special on cooldown, and then using either of my other damaging abilities otherwise. Now, the reason you may be asking, besides just the range of why would I want to use my secondary over my primary, is you can see here, anytime I use one of those, if I use my primary, charges my secondary twice, as denoted by the glowing ability icon, and by the 2 exclamation points. What does charge to? It tells you. It deals 1.5x damage instead. So, I'll be doing increased damage for my next 2 secondaries, and vice versa. My secondary charges my primary. So I'm always going to be alternating my kit, and that will make the essence of my ability rotation. Use my special on cooldown, off cooldown as much as possible, secondary once, primary twice if in range, otherwise, do the exact opposite, primary once, secondary twice. Finally, we get on to the defensive. This is a long cooldown, because it gives me invulnerability for a few frames. Gain brief invulnerability, as you can see right there, and it erases enemy projectiles. So as long as I'm flashing right there, I'm invulnerable to any attacks, which is big considering how I have only, 5 HP. The big thing about Dancer, though, is that I give all allies Warcry, which deals 20% more damage for 5 seconds. So exactly so, what I'm opening most fights with is Invuln for Warcry for the increased damage, and then immediately pressing the special button to try to see if I can sneak in maybe 2 casts right there. Is this open source Toho, says Calvin? Well, the creator is actually looking to try to help out mod support in the future. But I guess, in a way, if you wanted to put it there. But there's much more Toho fandoms you can just say. It's not even open source you will need to look at. But it's an interesting contrast because all defensive abilities are built this way, to where they have a built-in defensive mechanic of invulnerability and erasing projectiles, but also an offensive mechanic with giving your team buffs, or rather in me playing solo, yourself buffs. So it's a nice push and pull with trying to figure it out. But for now, we are in the Kingdom Outskirts, which is the tutorial area, so for the first fights, we'll get these treasure spears, which make the essence of the roguelike. Exactly so, trying to see, alright, how well can we build our deck, basically, here. Deal 200 damage or more to all enemies when using an ability or loot item with a cooldown of 10 seconds or more. So, the big note is, that would be, it would proc on my defensive, but not on my special, secondary, primary, since they don't have any cooldowns above 10 or more. So that's not as useful unless I get to upgrading my abilities later. You deal 30% more damage when you are separated from your target by at least 3 rabbit leaps. Could be nice, but it basically means it's never going to go off of my primary. Rabbit leaps is just the name of distance in this game. It can go off of my secondary, and I have to be really close with my special. I have to be pointed really careful with my special range, so not high in this. You do 5% more damage with Red Watt Ribbon. When you place a debuff on an opponent, your defensive has a 50% chance of resetting. There are classes that provide a lot more debuffs on the enemies, but me, playing as Dancer, I am more focused on giving buffs to myself and my allies, so not looking that good. I'm looking at the 2 on the right here. Dark Magic Blade. Every 10 seconds, slice the air around you, dealing 300 damage and applying curse to nearby enemies. So, this is a pretty simple one. It's automatic, so every 10 seconds, this will just already be an AoE around me, and applies curse for 10 damage. I don't have to think about it, it just goes off. It's basically another ability to my rotation for free. But I think I'd prefer to have Phantom Dagger. Your secondary now only deals 10 damage, but applies Ghost Flame. Ghost Flame is an interesting status effect to where you can see it deals damage when applied and upon wearing off. So, my secondary, as I went over there right now, in my current state, is dealing 50 damage times 2, so 100 damage if I use it once. But I'm looking to use my primary more just because of the innate charge mechanic. So if I take Phantom Dagger, I essentially move my damage potential of every secondary up from 100 damage to 500, because it deals 250 at the beginning. Because it deals damage when applied and upon wearing off. Ghost Flame, you can see right there. So, deals 250 at first, and then 250 after. Actually, it's 200 and it's going to be 510 damage, so it's 10 damage off my secondary. Actually, no, it's 520, so that is absolutely the best pitch. Yeah, it only deals 10 damage twice, but the Ghost Flame prod moves my DPS up so much. Crimson says, honestly, it's so cool how everything was designed to be synergistic with each other, and also having the risk reward of being aggressive to get the most out of it. That's the big mark, and especially, I'm playing on hard, which is the second highest difficulty right next to lunar. But when you get to playing lunar difficulty, like the biggest thing with how difficulty scales is trifold in Rabbit and Steel. 1, enemy attack patterns get harder. 2, your overall health bar gets smaller. And 3, additional things such as such as an additional time limit on how long you have to defeat bosses really starts to tune in, and that is of course going to be a problem later as the game keeps moving on, as you keep moving up, which means you have to make more offensive use of your defensive in higher levels rather than just only using it for your get out of jail free card. So I use the example here. Hard is I am sitting at 5 health. Normal and I think casual is the easiest difficulty. You are sitting at 9 health. No, it's a 9. It's at 7 and 9 health respectively. Lunar, you have 3 health. So 3 hits overall means that you really have to thread the needle and find times to where it's good to use your defensive safely or to push that damage, which is a really good push and pull and balancing levering system. Both for people who are greedy like me and want to use my defensive at all times as an aggressive tactic, and people who are smart and use it as a actual defensive maneuver. The big thing too is out of these treasure spades when you're playing online, all of these items will appear. So let's say you're playing with a party of 4 people, but only 1 person gets it each. Now only 1 person to 1 item, so nobody can take 4 of the Ghost Flame daggers as I just got myself. Only 1 person gets it, and it's a role system, kind of like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy or just any other MMO. So, if both you and another friend want the same item, well, comes down to the luck of the draw. Otherwise, you might be stuck with something not as optimal. But at least for me, playing solo, I get my pick of the litter. So let's see here. All damage is increased by 30%. Your primary and secondary gain cooldowns of 2 seconds. Honestly, not bad, considering how that will affect my Ghost Flame dagger. And even if it's 2 seconds, I can just alternate between these two quite frankly without a problem, and even if it's 2 seconds, I can also just weave my specials in. So I'm working at Lancer Gauntlets already. Deal 50 damage to all enemies when your primary or secondary is used. Decent, but 50 damage binary versus 30% scaling is way better. Every 20 times you or debuffs applied damage to enemy, apply Spark, which is gonna be a AoE dot damage over time effect. Not as high, because although I am double hitting on primary and secondary, special hits once only, and I'm not applying debuffs. Your primary's global cooldown, GCD, has a 50% chance to be 0.8 seconds instead of its normal amount. So cut it down by 0.4. So instead of it, so global cooldown is just how long it takes to cast your ability, of course. So all of my stuff takes 1.2 seconds. But I could essentially cut my primary's cooldown by a third 50% of the time. It's alright. Hermes Bow. Every 10 seconds, fire a projectile at your targeted enemy that deals 250 damage. This resets automatically every 10 rapid leaps. So I basically have to move across like 2/3 of the screen. I think it's Lancer Gauntlets. Because even if, yeah, see 13 damage, quite frankly, it moves my primary and my special up by a huge amount. Actually, wait, Ghost Flame's a status effect, so it actually doesn't move up Ghost Flame. So I read that wrong, but fact is, 2 out of 3 of my damaging abilities profit off of it, so I'm not really... Actually, no. Ghost Flame actually did go up. You see, it dealt 453, so actually, never mind. I am a brilliant strategist, and you all should fear me instead. Nice. You're seeing how already my builds come together simply, and all the little tits, dings, chimes of my abilities resetting. So, it's great, and part of the reason why I love Dancer is, one, it's easy AoE, so I don't have to worry about most fights, and two, I love gambling. 30% chance to reset at all times, it's great. So, we are in our first official area, everybody. So, welcome to the Chartreuse streets. Each area has a specific theme with how its enemies roll, and of course its own boss. But at the beginning of each area, you have a shop. All areas break down to shop at the beginning, 3 regular fights, a treasure spear which will heal you depending depending on your difficulty, and then of course you'll get your random item, and then the boss. But for now, you get money depending on how fast you kill enemies, which you can spend at the shop here to either fully heal yourself, give yourself levels, which you are automatically getting over fights. 1 level corresponds to 1% of damage. You can buy potions with last the area for cheap, so I can give myself basically a health of 2, a health boost of 2, so if I take 2 hits I can regen that, increase my movement speed, increase all of my global, increase my global cooldown speed, or I can buy these special gem upgrades, which will completely change how each of my abilities work. So let's see here. Primary. Damage is increased, no longer slows movement on use. Quite frankly huge considering how I am slowed down when I'm casting my primary, whereas my secondary doesn't slow me. Radius is slightly smaller and will no longer reset your special. No longer has a global cooldown. This ability can't be manually activated or automatically activate. Not worth it, although it is enticing to have basically just to use my primary at all times, because I took Lancer Gauntlets, it's not that good. Because then I'm just waiting on nothing. And in like gains cooldowns of 2 seconds, this will be a cooldown of 8 seconds. So, not good. Unfortunately, this time around. Chance of resetting is higher. Instead of 30%, it's 50% on the reset. Honestly, I do kind of like that. Grant all allies Vanish and Warcry. Vanish increases my net stat by 30%, so I would essentially be going 50% increase on what would be a special. But I think I do prefer, overall, either my Emerald or my Garnet for my primary and special, respectively. I think I'll probably go with my primary, just because it's a nice neutral pick. It allows me to move at my natural move speed no matter what. And especially with my ability weaving, that just means only my special is what slows me down. And my VTube model's lagging. I am seeing this. This is unfortunate. Oh well, it's all fine. So I'm 1 buck off. So I could buy levels to help myself keep up with the enemies here. But I think what I'm probably going to do instead is save... I'll save my money, that way if I can find better upgrades in the next area, then I will do so. For now though, I am going to tweak VTube Studio and see if I can't connect via Wi-Fi. So I usually connect with, my phone cable and cord through iTunes and all, but if I see my model lagging, I try the other method, so that's way better. Alright. Let's do this thing. Let's keep moving. Hello, ladies. We apply Ghost Flame to both of you. So like I said, each area has a theme. The main theme about the Chartreuse streets, the area that we are currently residing in, is there's a lot more emphasis on multiple enemies. As you can see here, I'm dealing with 2 enemies at once. And also, big areas of effect is mainly what it feels like to me here. As you can see, they are trying to cut down on my lanes of influence just from their cast and all. And I just have to carefully position myself in between where these bullets are going. Well, I feel like that goes for any enemy, but Chartreuse demands, what Chartreuse demands the most is just being able to recognize where your positioning is to anticipate attacks more than anything. You have to be forward positioning more than reactive positioning, I feel. Of course, each area has, once again, their own specialties and all. But as we get on to the third battle of Chartreuse here, once again, I am dealing with... I was a little too fast because of my upgrade, actually, funny enough. Multiple mechanics. I'm dealing with those big orbs which can hit me and, kill me. You can see here, I have this marker above my head that says stretch to tether, which means if I'm too close, as that tether expires, then it will deal damage to me. So I have to go away from where that's telling me, from where the center point of the tether is, which is in the center of, well, those orbs right there. I have to keep moving back and forth exactly so. I'm dealing with these two enemies here, which aren't making it easy at all, considering how their mechanics are complementing each other. But for me as Dancer, this is a pretty seamless fight, considering how all my abilities are AoE, and I really don't have to worry too much about how close or far I am landing to them. Compared to other characters who may be like more single damage target face, like the assassin for instance, this fight could be a whole lot harder or Chartreuse Streets is a lot harder for exactly so, since this area is the most based on having to deal AoE damage to multiple enemies in 3 out of 4 of its fights. Your special and defensive has a 30% chance of instant resetting when used. I love gambling. Your primary secondary have a 5% chance to deal 100 times 5 damage to a large radius when used. Could be interesting, it's just more gambling. Use my special cooldown by 2 seconds. I'm already going on the resets of my special, so I think I'd rather take Gemini because it's the higher chance, and if I can keep the haste up, the war cry up for the extra damage at all times, that'd be wonderful without wasting my defensive. That, or my special to just automatically reset on its own like that, and life is even better. So welcome to Matty, the Paladin Mouse. She is introducing a bunch of weird mechanics that you're going to have to get used to here if you are new to seeing things. Such as you can see right here, she is pushing us around. She is introducing the heavy mechanic from the earlier fight, but she is also including all these moving orbs from the third fight in the area here. She's demanding you to recognize, hey, which areas are safe, which are not, and you need to move to them preemptively before the rest of her attacks already start encroaching in on you. As you can see right here, I'm going between the little field of safety while trying to dodge all these orbs. Granted, I feel like this is more of my Rapid and Steel muscle memory just kicking in more than anything here, but it's all about positioning ahead of where things can hit you, such as these giant, deadly squares of doom. At least that's an easier pattern it feels, right? And right there, the fact that I just got to cast my special like 3 times in a row is hilarious. Next pattern that you're seeing right here, I have a bunch of multiple stretch the tether markers, but I have to do them in order by the countdowns themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because that's how they will detonate. So that's telling me how I have to move in that circle of influence right there. So now, phase 2 of the boss, because it is the Chartreuse Streets where you're going against mice, and they're transformed into their animal forms. And this is where other classes can struggle once again, exactly so. If you don't have AoE to deal with the additional 7 summons that Matty just spawned, well, you're kind of screwed out of luck right there. But since I'm Dancer and I have full AoE on all of my abilities, I say I don't care for that mechanic. Screw you! Whatever. Having to deal with multiple enemies, oh, that's pedantic, that's easy, that's baby food. Yeah, dude, taking the Gemini necklace for constant special resets is wonderful. If I can beef up my special at the next shop, that would be great in whatever metric that I can. Yeah, you're seeing all of our little mice summons are spawning in 1 mechanic on their own each, but since I have so much AoE, I quite frankly don't care. So you can see right here, I have to immediately identify which area, which orb is going up or down and away from the tether. That way I can successfully dodge it, because if I'm in the wrong lane, then I'd be going straight towards the tether in the areas of safety instead. So just gotta be careful about that. And once again, that's just pattern recognition, but I think I've done this, I've struggled against this fight enough to recognize those patterns. There's later boss fights that I still don't recognize the patterns of. Red Dark House, if we get to that in this run, funny enough. But, at least for now, this is pretty muscle memory to me, just from playing this game so much, I feel. So now we got our first big spinners, so you're seeing that is a huge line beam that will spin in the direction notated, so I just gotta move along with it for now. Not too bad. Chartreuse Streets, I've taken 1 damage all area. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with that for getting back into Rapid and Steel, because I haven't done a full run since literally a month once I started making the art for this and everything, I just haven't done much else. So let's see here. Cooldown is greatly reduced, but no wonder randomly resets. Ew. Charges your primary twice, charges your special every 2 times it's used. Decent. Grants all allies haste and war cry for 5 seconds. Ooh, I do enjoy that. Because haste increases my global cooldown. So the fact that I could keep getting resets on that potentially is huge. The question is then though, do I take the opal petal? Because yeah, it increases the damage, but that's moot with my dagger. Do I want it charging my special? I mean, I'm using it so much, I might as well at that rate. Since I am always rotating it, there's no reason not to. Next thing I'll probably buy is this potion of gold. Gives you 5 golds each fight, lasts until the next stage. So basically, I'm investing. For my 10 gold now, I'm turning 9 into 20. So I'm going to profit 11 off of it overall. Just drinking some water real quick. But welcome to the King's Arsenal, everybody. Home of the Wolves. This area's mechanic revolves around a lot of pushing you in different locations. So you're going to have to obey that. It will restrict your movement. Instead of being able to move freely, you will move basically on lateral steps, vertically, horizontally, in one direction through what's called turbulent winds. And also, it will restrict the area that you can overall move in through field length, I think is what the status effect is called. But basically, it's all about restricting your movement and making you uncomfortable on how you can actually position yourself. You can see here, yep, exactly, will be not bad. And now turbulent winds are happening, so all this stutter stepping is actually the game's doing and not my own specific. So it is screwing up my inputs slightly or so, but that's intentional because it wants to get me off kilter. Because if I don't move in the right direction, as you can see here, if I move directly left or right, I could easily be hit by any of these beams, and then everything starts going down the gutter. I will say though, the haste is actually a little bit counterproductive with my gauntlet, my Lancer gauntlet, considering how I'm casting my abilities so fast that I don't even have, that everything's on cooldown if my special doesn't reset in time, which is absolutely a first world problem, dude. Alright, keep casting that special, baby girl. So you can see here, I'm restricted to the red or blue cubes, basically, at the moment. Just due to these 2 wolves casting, I didn't touch the status effect. But no big deal. But of course, it plays a lot more when you're playing co-op with people, since you could be sectioned off from your teammates and need to get help with that and all. But now we're getting introduced to the main other, I guess, mechanic that you could say of the King's Arsenal, which is cleaving one side. So I have to keep constantly paying attention to where yeah, exactly so, where the damage areas are going to be. I pressed my special for no good reason there, and moving in accordance to where it needs me to be in the little circles in the middle here, or exactly so, where where the safe little area is amidst all the chaos. But thankfully, once again, since I'm Dancer, I can validate a lot of this fight since I am just dealing so much AoE damage. So I am pretty gosh darn happy with it. Seen here, just gotta pay attention to where the safe circle is amidst all the moving. Or I could get a crit for plus 1k and just keep moving along. Pretty simple, and my build is, quite frankly, online. Increase special damage by 200, if it was 200%, that would be stupid. Whenever you gain invulnerability, your special has a chance of resetting. Could be stupid. Every 16 seconds, slice for 700. Your special inflicts burn, which is another negative status effect, actually, that I could apply, which will deal damage equal to, at the end, to the damage of my ability. So basically, it's dealing 546 base. Without even thinking about it. Yeah, 546 base, not counting if it's charged, and then, right, at the end of 5 seconds. I think I will take it considering how I have the charge. I can also take the Obsidian Hairpin, that way I can try to guarantee more resets with my haste. I think I like the burn though, because I could keep going for more negative status effects with my last piece of gear later on, and also I find it hilarious to have 2 dot status effects exactly so, burn and ghost flame going. But welcome to Marin, the steel-toothed wolf and the boss of this area. As you can see right here, she is challenging us with 2 mechanics at the same time of cleaving to a certain side of the battleground, and also pushing me as well. And now she's even introducing the turbulent winds, so I have to be exactly careful with how I am positioning myself, and overall making sure I am in the right corner. Field limit is the word right there. Alright, I was too busy reading field limit to actually pay attention to where my position was, and I got hit by that, so that was my own hubris. But you're seeing here, I can't move too far out of the little central rectangle it's set for me while she's raining down knives. Not the worst pattern, but thing is, you will always be dragged into the field limit if you weren't initially in the range, so it forces you to have to immediately adapt to the enemy's terms, and at least in later difficulties, that is very, very nasty. Seeing right here, I'm not necessarily having any big problems with dealing with her so far. That's already phase 2, and I only took 1 damage. Granted, I didn't take any damage in the last area's boss fight, but I took 1 damage in the Chartreuse streets altogether. So is it really a problem? Nah, not really. Looks great. Oh, I got cleaved by that very slightly. Okay, now that is a slight problem. I was about to say, what is great is how my defensive keeps resetting on its 30%. And then I just, you know, immediately got cleaved otherwise. So, unfortunate, unfortunate. By the burns, please. Keep dodging, CRUZIE. You're doing great. Nice. Fine enough. See, this is why I love Dancer. Once again, invalidate a lot of mechanics just due to having AoE or large range. I can constantly go gambling with my special resets, and it's just it's just a lot of what appeals to my what appeals to me. Not to mention, if I ever do play multiplayer, giving additional damage and potentially even, like, you know, CDR reduction from this, from my current upgrade with haste. Ooh, can't say better teamwork than that overall, can you? Now, even though Marin is off-screen, I can actually still clip her with my abilities and as time slowed. So I'm trying to do exactly that. So I can push my damage line up like so. Nice stuff, CRUZIE. 2 damage taken, so I'll spend 5 butts to heal. And we go to the Red Dark House. Of course we do. What is commonly considered by many people to be the hardest area in the game. Damage reduced but now hits 3 times. I actually hate that, considering that'll hit my meteor staff hits. So instead, what I could do is something like gain 1,000,000 levels. That way I can just move my overall damage up. Increase my specials damage. Yeah, let's do that, and then let's spend all the rest of my money in levels. So my special, even though I don't buy a regular upgrade, it's still doing 698. Remember, each level is 8% of damage. 1% I'm doing more. So I basically increased my damage overall by like 10%. Hey, D3. Yeah! I'm playing myself, Chief! Isn't it cool? And I'm also having a really wicked dancer run right now. So it's going pretty nice. How are you today, friend? How are you? Hopefully you're doing well enough, all things considered. Yeah, getting back to things here. Many would consider the Red Dark House the hardest in any difficulty. Ah, oh, darn it. I got clipped there because I was looking at the wrong thing. Because they demand so much out of you. It probably has the attacks that have the least amount of telegraph time. They have big AoEs and force you to basically be in so many pixel perfect situations, otherwise you get clipped. And I'm saying this on lunar difficulty especially so, because I have not quit it on lunar yet, and it very much so goes to so. But as you can see here, yeah, a lot of big laser abilities, a lot of big deadly cubes, everything like that or so, and it is it is not necessarily fun, and I got clipped again, dude. Well, if me taking 2 damage already isn't showing, considering I've only taken 1 damage in the fights leading up to the bosses so far, it's not the best. Yeah. Like, Red Dark House demands a lot out of you, and especially, like, even when we get to the boss, on hard, I have not actually figured out all of the patterns yet, let alone if I ever wanted to clear it on Lunar, gods forbid, if I was able to ever get to that point. So I've cleared 2 areas out of the 5 on Lunar so far, but that is still a very big ask. Oh, you still had ads going? Oh, well, that's unfortunate for the pre-rolls. God damn it, dude. Okay, like I said, I haven't played Rabbit and Steel in the whole month that I was working on this mod. The fact that I have taken 3 damage over on Red Dark House just normally going is kind of showing my wear and tear. But yeah, you can see, like, exactly so, just from how much I am just naturally struggling compared to the other areas. I'm just kind of not... Like, Red Dark House already hurts a lot, and once again, everybody pretty much agrees, without a doubt, that Red Dark House is the hardest area in the game. Every 20 seconds, grant Rapid Luck to all allies. That does mean, no matter what, if I have Rapid Luck for 5 seconds, that means all of my abilities that have chances to reset, meaning my Gemini necklace pairs with it, will guaranteed keep proccing, so I can just keep spamming my special if it comes to. Holy Greatsword is automatic damage and grants Smite for 10% more damage always, but that is... I'm looking at Bolt Staff or Glittering Trumpet, because Bolt Staff is pretty funny, considering if I get my special resets on Gemini Necklace, that's just 150 more damage at all times, but I like Glittering Trumpet, because if I do so, I can just spam both my defensive and my special, because of Gemini Necklace guaranteeing, because Rabbit Luck, a mechanic in this game, temporary become extremely lucky means that any percent chances will always succeed. I don't know what it does for crit chance, but at least for percent chances, that's an always pass. So I think that's just going to be better in the long run and really stupid. Pretty comfy and normal, so it's hard, but going on basically don't touch. Yeah, well, funny enough too, like, I actually, I've only really played solo too much, so I'm actually still not that versed in actually how co-op goes too much otherwise when it comes to. So I still need to play instant co-op with friends or so sometime. Multiplayer changes things a little bit, yeah, because the biggest things is like you actually get the stat spread markers to actually go off instead of it just being, you know, just what is essentially bullet hell at all times otherwise. Wait, I also just realized I had Rabbit Luck proc and I wasn't paying attention. Alright, we're fine. But anyway, we're here with REALLLL, the Mythril Dragon, who is what, once again, a lot of people would consider to be the hardest boss in the game. Not even... Oh, I moved too ahead of the marker there. Even counting the final boss herself, just because of how much her mechanics demand from you in paying attention and learning. And once again, like I said, I have not figured out all of mechanics on hard yet either. I very much so do still struggle. So, skill issue from my end, but also, like, it is something of its own accord. Anyway, I got Rabbit Luck proccing, so you can see how many times I'm just using my special right there. Yeah, that's right. The one thing I feel is unfortunate is the final boss is always pretty binary, and even the final area leading up to the end of your runs. So it'll always just be, you know, the areas leading up to the very end, which will just, you know, like I said, demand your attention and really decide if your run succeeds or fails. But as you're seeing here, REALLLL has just a whole shitload of big AoEs, of deadly lasers, and a lot of things that you just gotta constantly pay attention to and find your little divots of safety and all. As you're seeing here, yeah. When has one of her attacks not involved a deadly cube or deadly laser? Yeah, not really much. At the very least, though, my build is so online that I am going to motor before we get to, like, your 3rd or 4th rotation, which is where I struggle, because that's the area that I have not figured out how to map out yet, because I struggle so much. Like, even now, I know I'm not in the right place. I'm still very much so struggling otherwise. I need to get to the other side, but I'm not going to reach it, so I just gotta mash my invuln, and thank you for the reset! Thank you for the reset that I didn't press the invuln button twice! Haha! Just otherwise I would have been down to 1 health there, dude. Okay, this run's fine. We're making it to the Pale Keep. We're good. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, I'd shudder trying the Red Dark House in Lunar difficulty. Alright, heal up without a doubt. My chance now is Emerald Lily Blossom. Deals more damage but cooldown is greatly increased. Without a doubt, best upgrade for me, because guess what? I can get resets with the Northern Trumpet or with my other abilities, so I don't care! Oh man, a burn that can deal over 1k naturally by itself, just due to charging my special from the Opal Petal and even the Warcried defensive, it's done. Getting Pale Keep usually means you win, but you can also still get screwed on the Pale Keep, actually, without a doubt, just due to, like, your character and also what weapons that you get from the Queen. Because, like, I know, like, for example, like, if you get, like, the Axe as, like, the Assassin, and you don't actually have a good DPS profile, and you're super dependent on, like, your backstabs, you actually can feel pretty screwed over. But for where I am, yeah, no, I am pretty, locked in. Because I have my whole kit synergizing with itself, and it is a wonderful thing to see. Like, when I'm naturally getting over 1k prots on the majority of my hits, it's great, dude. Like, 1k I'm hitting for 2ks on my burns, or just natural special hits afterwards, too. It is wonderful. Yeah, going back to things, how are you doing today, D3? Hope you're doing well. Little CRUZIE just dancing on, chilling out, having a blast. Oh, I love this game. It's great. And I got my reset to my special. Get ready for repeated 2Ks. Yeah, only thing I need to really time with my kit is making sure my special's on off cooldown when Glittering Trumpet hits every 20 seconds. That way I can just get like 5 special procs in a row. Primary deals 70% more damage. Gain Fluent every time you move 15 rabbit leaps. Huge. Gain 8 every 18 seconds using primary gives you LOG for 5 seconds. Could be big as well. I do like the flow in, and I could easily time that out with my trumpet and just the special itself. Yeah. Alright. Let's just chill out here, because it is just what is the Rabbit of the Moon, and there's, once again, a whole story mode to this if you play solo, but I've already kind of cleared it out, so, yeah. But welcome to Shira, the Rabbit of the Moon. I'm gonna try to move as little as I can, because I want my special to, I want my Fluent to proc exactly so when my special is actually off cooldown. So I'm getting almost, like, above 2k on my damage potential and all. It's stupid. And when I get the trumpet going, too, look at that! Just constant thousands of damage, dude! It's so stupid. I was pretty proud of the Into the Moon cutscene. Dude, the Rabbit of Memory scared the shit out of me when I was playing alone. Just, it was late at night in, you know, in my room without any lighters. So when that cutscene first happened to me, I was absolutely shook. I am telling you, D3. Do you know what happens to lonely rabbits? Oh god, dude. That is actual creepypasta material. This game's wonderful for all of its big and small ends. And also, Trumpet goes again. Have like 5 specials in a row. Oh man, this is absolutely a wonderful build to get to showcase CRUZIE and Steel 2. And I am enjoying every single second of it. Alright, wait for my Trumpet proc. I got Fluent and Trumpet, so look at this. Look at that. Oh, the repeated procs of damage is so stupid and sweet, and I love it all. Yeah, like I told you, like, the build's online. There's no chance that the enemy has it all here. Trumpet did proc, but I got my reset, so look at that. 3k, 4k, 2k, under a k. Okay, a little unfortunate there, but it's fine. Good invuln timing as well, because I would have taken damage otherwise. Now, I will say, I think I did screw myself there, because now I'm going to take damage from this unblockable attack. But it's whatever. Fact is, I have Trumpet Prots! I don't care! Oh, how stupid my run is, dude. I might actually get clipped. Never mind. I'm absolutely goated at this game. Special's ready. Trumpet Prot. 3K! 3K! 1K! 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 Yeah, nah. I am totally fine. As long as I don't beef it at the very end here, but I should still basically be good to go. Trumpet Prot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits. I can use my invuln this time to get through the unblockable attack, and it's over. Yep. What a very, very successful run for Dancer Rabbit, ladies and gentlemen. And for the first test run of CRUZIE and Steel in the wild. Oh my goodness. It's me! I'm in a video game! Again, I was in Orange Juice first, but this is a mod that I made myself. Because Mittens, one of our wonderful artists in GaleForce, made the Orange Juice mod. Whereas I made this all on my own. And I am very, very proud of it all. Will we be able to download? I will be releasing it, actually, in 2 days from this recording, on my birthday. I think it's like, Game Banana, or like whatever mod website that Rabbit and Steel have it on. I'll just be putting that out, and it's just a PNG, so I might be able to just put it on Twitter as well. But I will release it to the public then, and I will be so sweet. Oh, I am just so filled with joy getting to play CRUZIE and Steel. One more run of CRUZIE and Steel tonight. But also, sometime D3, we should play co-op on this. And I need to get a raiding party together, because once again, I haven't played co-op on Rabbit and Steel, like, I played it like once, I feel, and that was only on like release week, just because times lined up with friends. Like, because I'd probably want to set up a better night, because it's already 10:30 at night or so. I'm probably not looking to play more than just this one other run, since it's already gonna last another 30-40 minutes. But maybe another night when we can set things up, be it like just a regular Discord night or streamed and all. I would really enjoy that. So, Strider Manage Trasude absolutely rings to me here. Just because anytime I'm using haste, anytime I apply my special, that is my defensive, that is the buff. So, I'm getting 20% damage increase. That is 25% more damage. So 45% damage for 5 seconds. If I can find a way to extend that buff, or just get more buffs overall, that'd be great. But you're already seeing the amount of damage I'm already doing. 800 raw on really Fight 2. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, big things that I'm looking at here is finding ways to reset my defensive, or generate more buffs for myself, is my win condition overall here. So let's see. I bleed to the enemy. All your cooldowns are reduced by 3 seconds. If you use the defensive, useless. I can deal additional blows with my primary, decent. Nightmare Grimoire just deals damage over time. Slice and deal bleed to the enemy. Every time 2 times you use your special, gain tranquility. Could be decent, but the fact is, since it's moving too far, that is counteractive with Shrine Maidens to where it increased my movement speed. I'm probably thinking the Bloodhound Greatsword, because that's 12 seconds for guaranteed damage, and the bleed means that my additional hits from my primary and secondary are doing 20 damage each, so that's 40 damage overall every single time. I think that's totally fine, even if it's a debuff and not a buff. A debuff for the enemies and a buff for me. That's always going to be damage that I'm going to be constantly pushing and moving forwards, no matter what. I wasn't looking. I should have seen that coming, and now I'm gonna be 1 health down going into the next area. That is unfortunate, and nobody's fault but my own, because those balls are telegraphed, and I took damage. Oh, unfortunate, but I'll take it on the chin. Chain's Arsenal. I find Chain's Arsenal to be one of the easiest areas in the game, in my opinion, if not the easiest for me. So I'm totally fine with this. Cooldown cannot be reset by any ability or root effects. I hate, even if it gives me Rabbit Claw, because I need to find ways to reduce it. Damage is reduced, but number of hits is increased. I do like that for Bloodhound Greatsword. Deals more damage and has a larger radius, but slows movement on use. Inflicts burn. Interesting, but I think the Twirling Rose would be the best. And then I'm gonna sit on my money. That way I can potentially buy 2 upgrades otherwise. For now, let's make use out of everything that we can here. But yeah, you can, like I said, I am playing towards the greater hits that my... the additional hits that my primary can do with my upgrade right there. Exactly so, for when my Bloodhound Dagger goes off. Just trying to be careful of my positioning on all of those fronts here. Should be fine. I drifted into it a little too early. That is my own fault. I'm really gonna go into the boss of 4 health, aren't I? Which is unfortunate, because I don't want to. I was about to say I'm not gonna make it in necessarily into the range that I want. Right, we're fine. We are 1000% fine. Just don't get hit by the daggers, because this is an easier fight by all metrics, in my opinion. I'm just going to keep spamming my special from here, considering how I'm just trying to play safe. Yep, you're dead in next rotation. I said you're dead in next rotation. Thank you. Thank you. And then we get my favorite enemy, Tasha. Rabbit is opponent. Tasha is best character in this game. I will have no other slander. Tasha is best. And the bleed actually proccing on both of her clones right there is absolutely monumental for us. Yeah. Yeah, I think wolves are the easiest area, and it's like everybody has their own, especially so, but I think wolves are the easiest. I'd probably rate Dark House the worst overall. Just due to, you know, like I explained last round or so. It feels like you have the least amount of time to react to the attacks compared to other areas. The fact that there's a lot less leeway for what you could consider to be safety areas compared to other fights and other enemies and everything like that or so. I'd probably then, if I'm looking at difficulty, and I'm comparing this, I just like you'd say on a lunar perspective. Well, I just don't know in general, because I haven't necessarily gotten to all the areas yet in lunar. Red Dark House, without a doubt, still takes the take, first and foremost, no matter what. It is just atrocious to always have to deal with. I feel like I'm always taking damage on any of the fights, just due to my own negligence, or just due to how difficult it is to find your safety area consistently or so. I'd probably want to put Emerald Lakeside, which we haven't been to yet, at number 2. I haven't been to in this stream yet, just because I hate stop and start moving markers, and it's so finicky with how it wants to be nice, with how it is on there, and it's just no fun. I'd probably then go Church Mouse, because those patterns are absolutely horrible on lunar. I've seen a few of them, and I don't want to ever deal with the boss in lunar. I don't see how I'm going to be able to do so, because I have not run a single pattern on the boss yet. Then I'd probably go Scholar's Nest, which is crows. We haven't been to that yet. And then wolves. I'd say Chain's Arsenal, which is wolves here. Your defensive range decreases by 30%, but has a 2 seconds less cooldown. Totally fine by me. It's actually the only good one, considering how I'm only getting cooldown on my defensive in one way, and I get no buffs otherwise. Also dies whether I'm doing an AoE damage or not. Yeah, exactly so. And like I said, Church Mouse is baby food to me, besides the boss, just due to the fact that I like Dancer the most. So, yeah, AoE, my entire kit's AoE. I don't care about what difficulties people say they have with Church Mouse. Now, granted, my overall favorite characters in the game would be Dancer, Dancer number 1. I like Spellsword probably the next, and then after that, Archer. When it comes to. So quite frankly, like, I feel all sides of the argument when it comes to, or like single target damage, or rather like ease of use, considering how like, yeah, when I'm playing Archer, yeah, just being able to even just win primaries is so much of a hassle at times, without a doubt. But at least for Dancer, it was a nice easy mode to me, because you have innately +1 to your move speed for just playing Dancer, all your stuff is AoE, everything is pretty seamless, and especially too in co-op, you help your teammates out just by pressing your own defensive at all times for whatever ability. Besides Emerald, besides the Emerald one, I believe, the Emerald upgrade. But overall, you are still cashing out and helping your teammates in most situations, which is great. I was trying to speak and I started choking on my own conversation there. I'm gonna take damage. Own fault, own fault. So I wasn't piloting ahead of those daggers. Need to be positioning down, that way I immediately go towards the lane right there, like so. Also not using my defensive when I specifically took gear to do so, for me to get my Shrine Ratings buff. Alright. Water sipped without me choking on it this time. Very successful, very successful. Alright, not bad at all so far, not bad at all. I mean, I took 1 damage, so I consider this a fail on my end, considering how I've been hyping up how easily I deal with King's Arsenal. But, you know, let's face it, it's hard mode. It's not like I'm playing Lunar, to where I would then immediately be in danger territory since I'm at 2 out of 3 health at that point, you know? Okay, I got thrown off by my own speed timing as I was trying to clip Marin off screen. Well, I got, once again, nobody to blame but myself in that situation. Once again, another situation where CRUZIE took damage in a very avoidable opportunity right there. You idiot, you absolute fool, you cretin. We're fine, though, we're fine. Oh, I pressed shifter. I'm choking so much. I'm choking so much. I am down to 2 health. Oh, I'm never gonna live this down. It's okay, CRUZIE. It's okay. Just don't choke on these last patterns now. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just held my breath for 2 seconds there. We should be fine enough. See? You're still dealing damage just fine. You're not taking any more damage, right? Right, CRUZIE. You'll get through this with 2 health and then heal up back up to 5 like nothing ever happened. Yep, I'll get it for next rotation. Good. Good, good, good. Could have been way cleaner, but like I said, I just choked and did really stupid stuff there. So I'm not defending myself. But we got Emerald Lights out. Alright, the last area that we haven't been to this stream. So, heal for first and foremost. Having my secondary be automatic is great, because then it's just always going to be my upgraded primary. Emerald doesn't give debuffs anymore. It just increases my damage overall. That is absolutely atrocious. So upgrade the secondary so it's automatic, so it's always just going to be primary gaming at all times. I don't like the upgrade for my special necessarily here. You know, just buy the luck potion and then buy a level since I'm going to be generating more money otherwise. I think this is totally fine with how we have everything laid out. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be primary gaming. Alright, for everybody seeing the Raven Steel stuff for the first time after last time around, main thing with, to explain the areas, main gimmick with the Emerald White side here is there's going to be 2 markers, keep moving and stop moving, which I have to obey. So as you can see here, keep moving. If I stay in place when that marker expires, you see it'll be glowing purple and it will deal damage to me. So I have to, in essence, keep moving, which will force me into following the patterns of the enemies, be it these big bouncy orbs and all. It's that, or we'll get the exact opposite of stop moving. And thank goodness I got the easier pattern of these 2 bozos here. Okay, since here, if I'm still moving by the time that marker expires, then, well, of course, I take damage. And it's going to keep alternating back and forth depending on what enemies we are facing here. So you could easily get screwed over if you stop moving, and you are in a darned if you do, darned if you don't scenario. If, let's say, there's a deadly orb hurtling right towards you, and you don't have your defensive up. If you move, you take damage. If you don't move, you take damage. That, and this is the land of creative artist frauds, meaning we get colors to paint by and follow with. Paint by numbers, people. So exactly so. I've been assigned this emerald color, so I just gotta follow it. 1, 2, 3, exactly so. Getting inside my circles as demanded by Blush right here. It's pretty fun mechanics overall, and I think it's got my second favorite area soundtrack. I think, funny enough, the Red Dark House Calm version beats the voice track out here of the Emerald White side. But it is just a vibe of an area. Not in Lunar, though. Lunar freaking sucks. This area absolutely tears me to shreds in Lunar. And it took me so many runs to try to beat the boss of this area in Lunar. So far, I've only done... Ah, darn it. It's my own fault. I greeted on a additional primary hit right there. Because I've beaten the crows so far, so... the Scholar's Nest on Lunar, and I've beaten Emerald White side on Lunar. I haven't beaten any other area yet, because I've unlocked Church Mouse, and I think I've unlocked Dark House, but I actually have not even reached Wolf's Arsenal yet, which sucks considering how that would be the easiest area for me to clear in hindsight, and it's just, Emerald White side's kind of jumpy, but multiple Emerald White side steals up difficulty like crazy. Yeah, considering how, when it comes to stat markers, stat spread markers in multiplayer still persist even if somebody's dead or so, for instance. So that really starts to hurt, of course. The secondary deals more damage. It deals double damage. But, so it would pump up to basically deal more than my primary. It stores my movement speed, but what's his face? It's already being auto-casted, because it never has a global cooldown, just thanks to my upgrade. That should be nice. Instead, I could take the violin to grant me 30% more damage every 20 seconds, basically. But if I take damage twice, it sucks. I don't trust myself, so I'll just go ahead, take the sword. Because yeah, guess what? Still no global cooldown, so that's just 120 times 2. Color to people, and there are tethers linking you to others. Yeah, I've seen a few of the endgame. Now, I've seen, yeah, especially so, because tethering, once again, is the other thing I didn't mention in the first fight, with how you are tethered to the enemies, so like you're seeing here, so I actually can't move as far. And when you're trying to coordinate with your friends, one friend is fine. When coordinating with 2, that gets a little wonky. With 3, it starts being a travesty, especially when communication starts breaking down. At least for me here, and like you said itself, Emerald White side by yourself, it's actually a little quaint, it's a little comfy, because I just have to obey my one marker here. So, you can see my stutter stepping with start and stop. No problems, quite frankly. But even then, like, fact is, doesn't matter if you are solo or in a party with people, just playing Lunar, difficulty in any area is going to absolutely hurt. And I cannot tell you how much time I've spent on Emerald White side Lunar trying to beat AV here. Because holy crap, dude. Does it feel like you're constantly drowning in the Lunar fight? So I feel like, especially since you're being dragged around so much, just due to like the tethers and everything, you can't properly actually set yourself up for damage for multiple characters. So that's why, for example, that's why I enjoy Dancer, since I get away with so much AoE that I'm always getting to deal damage. If I'm planning to play like Archer, for instance, against AV here on Lunar, I'm going to lose to the DPS clock more often than not than actually taking damage. And I say that with sincerity because that's what's happened to so many of my Lunar Archer runs trying to beat Emerald Wayside. Exactly so. All bosses from hard current difficulty and Lunar onwards will have a strict timer on them. So if you get to the end of all their attack cycles, you will basically just get, you have a DPS check marker that says you have to defeat the boss now, otherwise you will constantly take unblockable damage that you cannot stop. And that will just keep happening until you or the boss dies. And frankly, unfortunately, it is not friendly when it comes to because you basically have to be doing damage to like 90% of the fight on Lunar to clear even just the basic, the basic outskirts enemies, for instance, or so. And if you're not using your defensive for those extra buffs for your character, so to help keep your damage line in order, then that starts to really hurt as well. And then once again, like, you just fall behind on that difficulty imposed timer, and guess what? Everything just starts crumbling down, dude. Lunar is its own beast, and I do not see myself clearing it at all in the future. But maybe, maybe area by area, if I do really get back into this or so. But I especially do think what I'd want to do is play Rapid and Steel with more friends, because I don't think I've seen too many of my Steam friends actually have it. I know you have a D3, but I actually don't know who else actually has this game out of like my close Steam friends, VTube friends that I could immediately link up with and play here. I'd more than happily gladly buy it for them, but it's just like, for example, I didn't actually get to buy it much for too many of my friends on the Steam sale. And by too many of my friends, I mean 0 of my friends on the Steam sale. So, a little unfortunate. Alright, Church Mouse. Totally fine. Buy it for my friends and basically bribe them? Yeah. Because it's like, I get the ends of like, I've never played an MMO, I'm not interested. It's a roguelike, I'm not interested. Or I'm playing Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft already, I'm not interested. And it's like, really, guys? Really? Can no longer be reset by ability loot effects. Whoa, this is reducing. It is a buff, but it doesn't do me too much here otherwise. I still don't like either of these upgrades. Alright, in that case then, what I will do here is increase my primary damage and buy all the levels, quite frankly. Move my level line up. Yeah, when we collab, we will do so, D3. And then whoever else we want to add to the raiding party and so, yeah? Alright, yeah. Like before, Church Mouse for Dancer is baby food. Just, yeah, all of these enemies, it's like, the fact that 3 out of 4 of the fights have multiple enemies? Why? Quite frankly, I don't care. My damage line is the same on all of y'all. Because I'm AoE, you idiots. Really hoping I can cash out on the Shrine Maiden's garb, though, with another buff to my kit sooner or later. But we'll just have to see if that ever comes to fruition. Because I'm still only working off of my defensive. Which is, you know, it's not the worst thing ever. But, you know, that's still 10 seconds in between getting one of my more impactful buffs once more. Yeah, I'll still be releasing this mod once again on Wednesday, the 24th, when it comes to my birthday. To the public, of course. I'm playing it now, obviously. I think I'll probably replace myself with, Yellow Rabbit, though. Instead of me being red like I am here. Just because, like, you know, yellow is, of course, my primary color when it comes to... I just played a lot of Red Rabbit myself beforehand. Gotta wait for the tether. I really can't do too much else at that state, because otherwise, if I just zoom too fast or in, I'll just take the damage on the chin and I'll just be like, oh, there's nothing I could do, dude. Smile. I'm not gonna be speedy enough if I cast my special white so I'm just gonna have to burn my defensive like that just to get out of the orb's range. But we're doing fine enough. Still doing very, very fine enough. And greed on a hit or two right there without a problem. I'm still just trying to clip both of the enemies as much as possible here. Nice. Perfect, perfect, perfect timing, CRUZIE. Look at this. Both dead within the moment, and we are chill. Alright, buff, please. But primary damage is increased by 40%. I'm totally fine by this, considering how my special is just working on resets anyway. So let us go, ladies and gentlemen. If I do that, that is already like 8,000 worth of damage. With the counter buff, I still got pushed out of the circle. That is annoying. Alright, don't cast anything. Make sure I got everything going. Yeah, I'm not reaching yet. Now I am, so we can just keep moving this line up. Alright, all good, all good, all good. 1 damage taken so far, but it's not the worst ever. Quite frankly, especially in my lunar runs, I feel like I was always taking at least 1 damage on that attack, on the initial pushes right there. So it's fine, it's fine. I'm basically just striking par for the course with how I usually result on my runs here. Yeah, just being able to only just think about my primary at all times, it feels like, is so nice. Because I can just focus on dodging completely otherwise, since my secondary is automated, and I'll get to see when my special is on cooldown. Now, okay, that was a very much so well-deserved autopilot hit right there, considering how I was just really not even looking at anything. Once again, I wasn't positioning myself well, I was just holding on my primary and just auto-dodging. We're fine, we're fine. So here we go, Shrine Maidens goes off, all your little friends are dead. Slower than my last run, but it's not bad at all. Press our buttons. Let's keep this damage line moving up and up. Nice. Good so far. 3 hits on a third of the enemy health bar so far. Not the worst ever. I should have saved that for when she summoned her ads. But it's whatever. As long as I can deal with a few of them here. Because I just need to be able to get rid of some of the more extraneous effects, like the one that's restricting my movement before the orbs come in. Alright. Okay, I have enough time to use my primary right there. All good, all good, all good. Tether stretched. We are chilling. You see me just continuing to mash this primary at any and all times. So I'm getting a little bit under 2k right there if I use my primary with my defensive counter, whereas my special can deal that above 2k. So yeah, just stick to what I was doing before right there with my special casting. Tether's waited out. Cast it now, perfect. Should take care of all of them, and with 3 hits onto this phase here, yeah, Church Mouse is basically done and dusted. We are straight up chilling. Oh, I was right. I'm killing you in 2 more primaries, and I didn't even see us getting cooked by the orb. Well, I was gonna heal anyway, so it's no big deal. To the Pale Keep. What do you usually play anyway, yourself, D3? Need to ask that. Eastern War Cry, gimme that right now. And then use the rest of my money for my levels. So I'm level 50 compared to the level 55 Harp. which is pretty decent, all things considered here. Oh, the stop moving marker sucks! I hate stop moving so much. I hate this freaking marker so much, dude. Ah, and I'm getting clipped again. Okay. When it comes to, there's two things I fear in the Pale Keep. The harp the most. Ats just makes me anxious, but I can deal with the ats. But the harp sucks. I freaking hate the harp so goddamn much. Doing some Wrist of Rain while listening to Maid themed Rabbit and Steel ASMR. I don't think I can qualify for ASMR. The fact that some of my IRL friends like Amy say I can hear you from I can hear you from the stove that I'm cooking on as I'm eating dinner, all the way or from another room, doesn't do well for the ASMR end. Let's be real here, Z3. My older content maybe so when I try to keep a lower weight on my energy, but definitely not where I position myself here otherwise. And also, speaking of the devil, we got the ats, which you can see here is just going to be a DPS check, because that zone in the middle is only going to constantly get bigger and bigger as it keeps expanding out. And, well, if you can't DPS it by the time it reaches full screen and you don't have your invulnerabilities for it all, it's scary. At the very least, my damage is good. It's just a little scary to see. Alright, I'll head into the final fight with full health. I'm totally fine by this. Gain invulnerability for 5 seconds every time you move 25 rapid wings. Hey, you know what? That is really, really fine, considering how it can enable my, my Shrine Maidens for 5 more seconds. That, or I could keep applying poison. I mean, it's poison, it's not really moving my damage right up. Otherwise, I'll take the Cloud Guard just for the fact that, hey, more Shrine Maiden stuff. I at least got a second buff for myself. Yeah, after this run, I'll probably call it for tonight, just because I'm already an hour late, and I don't want to stream past midnight again. Unless it's like VR or with Ein Smile for Valhalla. Right. Just always be moving so I can have the Cloud Guard's timing moving up. So I want to be alternating the Cloud... I love you all. Ooh, hey, whoa, speak of the devil. Hey, Amy, how you doing? How you doing tonight? Because, so I want to be alternating the Cloud Guard with my defensive. That way I always have the Shrine Maidens plus 25. You got that from the Prime sale? Oh, that's real sweet. Well, thank you, love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was about to say it, so I don't know if you just came in at the moment, because I just was talking about you, funny enough, with the previous comments and how I don't think I qualify for ASMR content in the slightest with how loud I do get. Okay, yeah, you missed it. D3 said, doing some... I asked them what they were doing, and they said, doing some Wrist of Rain while listening to Maid-themed Rabbit and Steel ASMR. No. I was commenting on how you've said before how you could hear me from like a room away or so with my streaming and tantrums from other games and everything. I do not qualify for ASMR when I get into the thick of things. That is what I feel is the biggest lie. CRUZIE ASMR, fairest of thought, fairest of thought. Yeah, how are you doing? How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well enough. Ah! Okay, we're fine. Cloud Guard goes off. We are chill. Not even the invulnerability that I really need out of it. It's just the damage that I just wanted to keep pushing with it. Yeah, you scare me half the time when you say hi at the arcade too. Okay, well, that's on purpose. I'll just have you know. I intend to just sneak up on y'all and just be like, hey, tap you on the shoulder and be like, what's up? Ah, I can't equip that. That's on me. Not that projecting your voice is a bad thing. I think it's more just due to me, with my theater kid background or so. I'm just trying to speak up a little bit louder. And also, subconsciously, it's when we're at the arcade, it's already super loud. All things considered there. I thought I was still invulnerable, so I drifted into that by accident. Alright, 3 hits going into phase 2. Not the worst ever, but could have been way better. Just chilling at home today? There you go. There you go. What? I'm in a video game! I'm playing as me right now! This mod took a month out of my life to complete, dude. Holy crap. I mean, well worth it. I am reveling in the fact that I'm playing as myself in the second video game ever now. In my second video game ever, considering how, you know, Mittens did the 100% orange juice mod of me. But that's also other GaleForce members. I made this myself. I drew this myself. It's me. I'm happy with life. Very, very happy. Alright, I'll try Jet Cloud Guard first, and then I can just have my invuln. Otherwise, okay, I'm tossing this run. I'm tossing this run in the absolute gutter right now. Because I keep slowing myself down with my primary usage, and it is not good. So, we gotta focus up, otherwise I am absolutely dying. Yeah, the fact that I'm slowed when casting my primary is absolutely detrimental to all aspects of life. Am I dead? No, I'm not dead yet. Not dead yet. I have to get through I have to get through another half of a health bar on one hit. It's doable. Just don't be stupid. Don't be an idiot, CRUZIE. Use my defensive just to keep pushing the damage here. But I'll have it up before the steal yourself. Oh, I might have readed. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Alright, Cloud Guard bailed me out right there because I was too slow casting my special. We are fine. We are fine. We are fine. Just one more rotation, CRUZIE, and you can do it. You can do it. Get to your sides. Oh, I was scared right there. I was scared. I didn't think I was going to make it in time. R-drop's going to proc. I'm going to have the extra damage. I'm probably just going to save my defensive for defensive purposes exactly so now. This Cloud Guard is still a good little bit away. Oh, I'm going to have to move with these demands, though. Gotta use it. Gotta use it. Oh, Cloud Guard proc 2. Did I actually screw myself here? So I don't think I have that. I don't think I have time. I'm dead! I screwed myself! No! I wasn't looking at Cloud Guard right there, so if I didn't defensive, Cloud Guard would have saved me, and then I would have had my defensive there. Ah! Well, dead CRUZIE. That's my own fault. But it was really also just coming down to me once again as well. Taking too much early damage and disrespecting how slow I was when casting the primary and secondary. How good though. Fun enough. CRUZIE tweets are totally ASMR? I mean, unless you're looking to make a squeaking montage of me, which funny enough, I do have the Ein montage of my partner in crime Ein for when we played Valhalla. Well, not just Valhalla, but whenever I play games with him, I've had all the Ein clips, and I actually have a whole call-out video on him for that, but I'm not exposing him to the masses like that or so. But I don't think I'm cut out for ASMR. I have a good mic and all, but I am not an inside voice kind of person. But yeah, look, at the very least, that's 2 runs of CRUZIE and Steel tonight, everybody. So once again, this mod will go out to the public in 2 days on my birthday! So yeah, very, very happy to show it off. I'm excited to get to show it off and all. And just, CRUZIE and Steel! So, at least for now, everybody, wherever you are, wherever you may be, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube or more, it's been your Wonderful Wind Mage, your Cruise Ship servant, Chartreuse Proxy, ever and always at your service. Thank you for joining for the Shadow Drop review of CRUZIE and Steel tonight. I will be coming back live tomorrow in VR, because I'm going to be exploring more Virtual Market with my friends at GaleForce. So I do hope that everybody gets to chill out, and maybe you'll catch me. This will be a later stream at about 10 p.m. CT, so 1 hour off from where we are now, honestly. Just because I have a closing shift at work. And then it'll be my birthday on Wednesday, and we'll just keep going and seeing how things go on from there. Once again, at least for now, everybody, whether it be morning, afternoon, evenings, or night. At least from my side of the world, have yourself a wonderful night, and thank you all for coming by once more.